As the athletes approach the field, first off, target number 1 will feature Korea. FIFA world ranking of 29th. However, they qualified in 5th, which was a fantastic outing for them. Their team consists of Young-hee Choi, Kwon Jong Kim, and Lee Hong Min. Defeated Italy in a little bit of an upset, 236, 229. Then defeated the Netherlands. However, lost to the United States of America, and now will be shooting for bronze. Target number 2 from Canada, a FIFA world ranking of 16th overall. They qualified in 2nd place, which was an outstanding effort for the Canadians. Christopher Perkins, Simon Rousseau, and Depner Trillis defeated Germany and Mexico, lost to the number 2 ranked team from Denmark by 3 points. Almost a combination of youth and veteran experience on both sides as we take a look at the 6 athletes ready to start this bronze medal matchup. And what are you expecting in this matchup, Logan, as we approach the first arrows of this competition?
The wild card for Canada is definitely Simon Rousseau. I mean, Dietmar and Chris Perkins have been both shooting very strong. Simon's probably one of the younger guys on the team. But if he can shoot well and just put a couple of good ends together, I would look forward to Canada winning this matchup. But Korea, you know, we don't get to see a whole lot of, so.
Canadians will shoot first.
Opening arrow for Canada, number 9, just out of 10 high.
9.5.
Dietmar Trillis, a former world champion.
World Cup winner. Now Chris Perkins, who's on the line right now, we'll see him later today in the semifinal. He actually set the world record for the indoor, broke Dave Cousins' old world record of 598 that stood since the late 90s with a 599.
Wow.
So Chris Perkins is a very excellent shot as well.
Turn things over to target number 1 in Korea with their first shot of 3.
And they definitely got some opportunity right now to take advantage of the 8 and the 9 that Canada shot.
We talked about it earlier in the telecast that the Koreans in general focus a lot of their attention on the recurve, but guess what, folks? They're here in both the men's and women's compound events too, and they're doing quite well.
Yes, they are.
9.
May have a little bit of jitters right now, but I expect this to be a good matchup. I mean, I didn't expect Canada to come out shooting 9 and 8, but they did, and so now it's anybody's ball game.
Tied at 27, both of these teams. 27 of a possible 30 points.
Now we're going to turn it back to Canada. They have an opportunity to take advantage of the 9s that Korea shot. So.
Oh, Canada, there's a 10.
Man. Good shot.
Canada's Tom Hoover, Jay Lyon in the coach's box for compound men.
Dietmar's still a little low. You can see him throw his bow arm up. That you've seen it in the first shot as well, but not as far low in this shot.
And a 10.
Awesome shot, man.
10 points.
56 of a possible 60 on the board for Canada's first.
Canada complete after 6 arrows, 56 of a possible 60 points. And now we turn things back over to target number 1, their final 3 shots of this end.
There's a 10 for Korea.
Korea, even though they shot 3 9s on that first end, they were close within the 10 ring, so just some minor adjustments and they should be just fine.
Evidence of it right there with that first 10.
8 off the top.
괜찮아, 괜찮아. 용아, 집중하고 해. 끝까지.
Solo che se lo fa la Corea è un problema, perché ti ricordi, no? 4 anni prima hanno saputo
And a 9.
che c'era
Canada holding a 2-point advantage after 6 arrows.
Technically proficient as some of those that they compete with,
mi raccomando,
but they make up
56-54 through 6.
One of the ones that, you know, maybe they just come out and both teams got a little bit more jittery than they expected. So maybe we look forward to the nerves settling down and a little bit better shooting in the next couple ends.
There wasn't enough foot being used in the shot. I think that's very key.
What do you want us to do? Tap dance?
Yeah, try that. That could work.
I'm shooting like I'm tap dancing.
The Koreans scored 236 points in both the 1-8 and 1-4 elimination rounds, but lost to the #1 team from the United States in the semifinal with only 227 points. Their opponents here, the bronze medal matchup, the Canadians, had 237 points in their first round, and then 2 times afterwards, 234, enough to beat Mexico in the 1-8, but not enough to beat Denmark in the semis, and that sets up an interesting scenario in the gold medal matchup that we'll see next, the United States against Denmark, which promises to be a very good game when you look at the FIFA World Rankings of #1 in the world versus #2. You can't get any closer than that as far as rankings are concerned and as far as a gold medal competition is concerned.
Right now, you're looking at this will be the 3rd matchup between the USA and Denmark. They face each other in Porridge in the World Cup, Antalya at the World Cup, and now here at the World Championship. So it should be a tremendous matchup.
It's almost one of those scenarios where the 2 teams look at each other and go, "You again?"
Absolutely. And you can see in the first matchup in Porridge, USA I think won by 4, and then the second one in Turkey they won by 1. So it's definitely getting a little bit tighter.
Promises to be a great match, but we head back to this one, this bronze medal matchup, which is also looking very good so far. Canadians holding on to a 2-point advantage, but still many arrows in play, and to determine who's going to claim that 3rd place position here at the World Championships.
And with Korea shooting arrows outside of the gold, you're going to see Canada relax on this next end and probably shoot 29 or 30.
Chris, for Fluffy. Fluffy.
9 points.
And each set of their 3 arrows have shot 27, so they're going to have to do some major fixing if they're going to get back into this match.
27 points of a possible 30. Target number 2.
Nice shot,
Simon Rousseau delivers with a 10.
Close to the line. Could be next.
And like I said earlier, Simon's kind of the X factor. I know he shot a couple 10s and a 9, and Dietmar's the one that shot the 8 earlier, but, you know, I expect Dietmar to come out of it and shoot a couple 10s here.
Dribbles with a 10.
Good shot, man.
See, like I said, that 8 from Korea, that probably calmed Canada right down and allowed them to shoot their game and got rid of a lot of the butterflies.
Christopher Perkins.
And a 10 from
10, 10, 10 for the Canadians. 30 of a possible 30 points. Now holding a 5-point advantage. 3 more arrows in this end.
And Korea's definitely going to have to step up and put some arrows in the 10 ring. I mean, when you miss the goal, you're allowing your opponents to take 2-point advantages per arrow.
Chris. Chris.
9 points. This arrow will take Korea to the half.
And they're going to need a 10 here if they're going to get back into this match.
More precision from Korea, 10 points.
Pretty good showing there, 29 of a possible 30 points. They finish off that end with 56 of a possible 60, and it's still a little bit of a mountain to climb for them as we turn it over to the Canadians on target number 2 with their final 3 shots.
I left.
Seeing if Canada shoots 2 more 10s right here, you know, Korea didn't gain any ground, but they didn't lose any either, and that's going to be a big help going forward.
Denmark with the 10.
That one's in the X.
With the 10.
Yes, nice shot,
And it's
Chris.
exactly what you said, back-to-back 10s.
Canada leading Korea by 5 points. Archery is
Halfway mark of this bronze medal matchup, the Canadians hanging on to a 5-point advantage over Korea. Still plenty of time to go here.
every year the most precise archers.
Clock, you had tons of time on that. Like, you guys have so
That's
much time, it's funny.
12 arrows left, 5-point lead. I mean, anything's possible, but it's going to be a hill to climb for Korea.
That's how you're supposed to say it, not how I say it. Hey,
Canadians in that end shooting 5 of 6 in the 10 range, which is some fantastic shooting there. And the results on the board, 5-point lead at the midway mark. And it's almost the kind of scenario where as long as they continue their consistency, it's really hard chipping away at a team that's delivering 10s because, folks, you can't get any higher than that.
Nope. Or some people say you wish you could have an extra ring that you could get an 11, but you know what? We don't have it, so you got to shoot 10s and put the pressure back on your opponent.
You know, that's kind of an interesting scenario because from an outsider, you know, you're always looking at different ideas that probably sit there and from a archer's point of view, like you are in an archery family, you go, hey, what the heck is that guy talking about? But you almost look at the scenario where, do you think archery would ever consider maybe, for example, and this is of course hypothetical, and we're just throwing stuff around as we talk here in the break between the bronze medal matchup between Canada and Korea, but do you almost look at a scenario where the Archery Federation will look at perhaps one day making the X an 11?
It used to actually be prior to 99. The X ring actually was your 10.
Okay.
And so the rest of it was just a bigger 9 ring. Well, they wanted to get away from that to kind of even out the field, and I think that's done that. And if you try to put that at 11, you're going to kind of space things out again, and it's going to make it a disadvantage for certain archers. So.
And you know what? With some of the archers we've seen today from the United States, from Canada, from Korea, the Islamic Republic of Iran, you know, world records would collapse.
Absolutely.
If they added the extra point there and made that X count as extra. But back to this matchup here, bronze medal matchup. Korea on the line.
Getting a 10 on that first arrow, and like I said, they need a couple more to kind of put the pressure on Canada.
9.
The sun has made another appearance here today. Overcast skies, projected temperature around 23 degrees Celsius, which for our Fahrenheit friends is, I'd say, probably around 80-ish. My math isn't that good with my BlackBerry on right now, but I'll estimate there.
With the 29 from Korea, we got, you know, they do have a little room for improvement, but that may be enough to get them on the right track now.
9 just out the 10 ring.
Just to the right, you're just barely out.
29 of a possible 30 points for Korea as we turn things over to the Canadians in the first shot in 9, and Dietmar Trilis on the line as we speak.
10.
Nice shot, man.
And I wouldn't expect anything less from Chris right now. He's shooting extremely well.
X, man.
Canadians made up of a group of both youth and experience. Seems to be working for them so far, competing for the bronze medal. Qualifying second in this World Championship, however, they fell to Denmark, who we will see next as they'll face the United States in the gold medal matchup.
First shooter for Korea is shooting really strong right now.
A 10 followed by a 9, and now the final shot of this end for Korea on target number 1. Plenty of time, just under 10 seconds remaining on this final arrow. And he completes it with a 10. 58 of a possible 60 points for Korea.
I mean, they've gotten better. They start off with a 54, 56, now 58. I don't think it's enough to overtake Canada. They've been shooting really strong.
Good shot, Simon. Just barely out of the X, a little high right.
And Simon Rousseau with a 10.
Nice shooting, you're a little left.
Canada has put together as a team 4 consecutive 10s.
It's good though, looking good.
Wind's picking up. You can see it on Chris's shirt.
9 points. Both teams with 58 of 60, so no ground made there.
And you see the trees in the background. They're actually starting to blow a little bit, so we may have an interesting last end in store for us.
Still 6 arrows remaining. Canada does have the advantage by 5 points at 173-168. However, as you mentioned, the winds are picking up.
Rio shouted out for him.
And based on our location here in City Square, it's hard to tell exactly
which direction it's blowing. Exactly. That was my thoughts exactly. In here it can come from any direction. I mean, you got one windsock on the left side of the field blowing a little harder than the one on the right side of the field right now. So it's definitely swirling in here.
And it's funny, being surrounded by these larger buildings, it's, you know, you could technically have winds coming in from the west and east at the same time. Maybe a little bit of north here and there, and then you mix them together, and, you know, it adds just yet another mathematical scenario on where the wind's going.
And it definitely will create a little havoc with the shooters. I mean, if it's just blowing down range, it's not as big a deal when it's blowing on you. You know, it's harder to hold the bow steady, and that's when it becomes a big problem.
Final 6 arrows.
And the score is official. Korea trailing by 5. Team Canada has the advantage. Korea shooting first.
Target number 1, Korea on the starting line. 5 points separating these two teams. 6 shots remaining.
10.
Starts off well with a 10.
Continues to shoot strong. Next 10. They can get another 10 here. They may be able to cut 1, maybe 2 points, but it's an uphill climb with 5 points to make up with 6 arrows to go.
And they do just that. 10-10-10 for Korea. It's recorded right now as a 9-star, 9-liner. But nonetheless, from our vantage point, looks like a 10.
10-liner is in.
That's in, Simon, don't worry, a little low.
Seeing like we've seen earlier from the Islamic Republic of Iran, when they shot a 30, Team USA came back and shot a 30, and we may be seeing the same thing right here with Korea and Canada.
9.
Oh, Canada gives them a little break right there. So,
Just a little left,
they could have it down to, they got it down to 4. They may have it down to less than that.
Final shot, Christopher Perkins from Canada. make that the first of 2. Final shot of the 3, and he
Awesome shooting, Chris.
hits a 10, so it appears that Korea has chipped away at it by 1, as we are considering that 9-liner a 10 for Korea. We'll get official word on that a little bit later on. It may not make a difference, but nonetheless.
Absolutely. Gives you a little bit more confidence when you feel that it's in, though, especially with 3 rows to go.
9. 2 shots remaining for Korea. Final arrow.
That arrow right there probably is the one
guys,
that
just shoot solid
sealed the
pretty
deal
much over
for Korea. I just think Canada's shooting too good to fault after that.
25초나 남았어.
8 points on you know, a last shot in a last end of a bronze medal game. When you're climbing, it's tough to take sometimes.
Final arrows of the match.
악의 점수를 쌌구나 우리. 아주 좋은 경험했다.
10.
Must have been a
Shot,
great
Simon.
shot by
Awesome
Simon
job,
right there,
man.
but he got the result that he wanted.
Hey. Good job, man.
Nine. Final shot.
Final shot of this bronze medal matchup. Canada needing a 3 or better to win.
So basically, all I got to do is hit the target. We only got a 5-ring scoring system on here, so
Canada takes the bronze.
Canada victorious bronze medal champions at the World Archery Championship.
good match. You know, a couple mistake shots by both teams, but you know, overall, like I thought Canada would come out a little bit victorious. They got a couple of stronger shooters than I think the Koreans have right now, but definitely Korea's on the move.
Something to look forward to in the future. Koreans, of course, successful traditionally in the recurve. We'll talk more about that tomorrow because this weekend has not been good to them as far as the recurve women's team is concerned. But as I mentioned, that's a storyline for tomorrow. But here in the compound event, Korea settles for 4th place as Canada wins. The final matchup in this one was 230-223.